Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we are tackling one of the biggest, most debated questions out there. What is AI really going to do to our jobs, to our whole economy? It's a topic that's just swimming in hype and fear. So let's try to cut through some of that noise.
Okay, so let's jump right in with the question that's at the heart of this entire conversation. It's so simple, but it's incredibly profound. I mean, think about it. If robots and AI start doing all the work and nobody has a job, who's earning a paycheck to buy all the stuff that the AI is making? It's a huge paradox.
And this isn't some abstract puzzle for economists to solve in a university somewhere. It's a real fear that people have right now. This comment from a Reddit thread just nails it perfectly. If those paychecks for programmers and IT folks and retail workers disappear, then their spending money disappears too, right? And the whole economic engine could just seize up.
This core concern basically splits the entire debate down the middle into two big camps, and they both have a completely different vision of what our future with AI is going to look like.
So on one hand, you've got the people saying, nope, this time is totally different. We've never seen anything like this. And on the other hand, you've got folks who are like, relax, we've been here before. History is just repeating itself. Let's break down both of those arguments. The "this time is different" argument goes something like this. In the past, machines replaced muscle. Think about the tractor, the assembly line. They did physical work. But AI, that's a whole different beast. It's not coming for our muscles, it's coming for our brains. It's targeting those white-collar, knowledge worker jobs that we always thought were totally safe from automation.
And look, this isn't just some sci-fi fantasy. We're already seeing reports from places like Stanford that are pinpointing the jobs that are, right in the crosshairs. Anything involving language, data, customer service, those are at high risk. But jobs that need you to be out in the real world, using your hands, well, they seem a lot safer, at least for now.
All right, but then you have the other side of the coin, the augmentation argument. The idea here is that, yeah, technology always shakes things up. It always gets rid of some jobs. But it also creates brand new industries and totally new kinds of work, stuff we can't even dream of yet.
And the go-to example for this, which this Reddit user just lays out perfectly, is farming. We went from a country where more than half the population worked in agriculture to, well, less than 2%. That was a massive disruption, but it didn't lead to permanent unemployment. It actually freed people up to go work in factories and build the modern world. But this whole debate kind of forces us to ask an even deeper question. What if we're focusing on the wrong thing? What if the problem isn't actually AI at all? What if it's the system that AI is being born into?
This comment, which brings up the anthropologist David Graeber, really gets at a different idea. It suggests that our current system is already kind of broken, creating all these pointless jobs while the wealth flows to the top. From this point of view, AI isn't the villain, it's just pulling back the curtain and exposing the cracks that were already there. And wow, this slide right here really puts that concern into perspective. This data shows a staggering level of wealth inequality that already exists. The big fear is that AI is going to be like pouring gasoline on this fire, taking all the new wealth it creates and shooting it straight to the very, very top.
So where does that leave us? Well, it feels like we're standing at a massive fork in the road. And depending on which path we take, the future could look incredibly different.
Okay, so let's look at path number one, the utopia. In this version of the future, AI basically sets us all free. The productivity gains are so huge that we can have things like a universal basic income where everyone gets enough money to live on. Work becomes something you do if you want to, not something you have to do to survive. We'd be free to be creative, to learn, to build communities. But then there's the other path, the dystopian one. And it is not pretty. In this future, all the benefits of AI are hoarded by a tiny group of people who own the tech. For everyone else, mass unemployment, poverty. The gap between the haves and the have-nots becomes a giant, uncrossable chasm. So, utopia or dystopia? Which way are we actually heading? To get a bit of a reality check, let's bring in what an expert who studies this stuff for a living has to say.
And what's interesting is, a top expert from Harvard Business School, Christopher Stanton, basically says, hold on, let's all take a deep breath. Amidst all the panic and all the hype, his message is pretty clear. It's just too early to know for sure, and the wildest predictions are probably wrong.
He points out a few really important things. First, AI is spreading like wildfire, faster than almost any technology we've ever seen before. Second, and I find this fascinating, it might actually reduce inequality. Early data shows it can act like a personal tutor, helping lower-performing workers catch up to the top performers. And finally, yeah, some tasks will go away, but new ones will pop up to take their place.
And he gives a perfect example to remind us that we've gotten these predictions wrong before. Remember just a few years back? The big talk was that AI was going to replace radiologists. Well, today, radiologists are busier than ever. They're just using AI as an incredibly powerful assistant.
And that really brings us to the most important point of all. Technology is just a tool. That's it. It doesn't have an agenda. It isn't good or evil. Whether it builds a utopia or a dystopia, well, that's not up to the code. It's up to us. It depends on the choices we make.
So at the end of the day, the question isn't if AI is going to change things. It already is. The real question, the one we all have to answer now, is what kind of future are we going to choose to build with it? Are we going to share the prosperity or let it concentrate in the hands of a few? That choice is ours.